Hello, one and all. Ladies, gentlemen, friends, family, lovers. No, it's not that kind of show. Welcome to War with a Mate with me, James.
Me, Andy.
It's not that kind of show at all. This is family friendly. Family encouraged, actually. Bring the kids along for a day out. Bring the wife. Bring the dog. It's going to be a lovely day out.
Gather around the radio, all stare at it like an old painting from before TV.
And that's the best way to encapsulate what we're doing here. We are capturing the past, but bringing you into the future, into a one-in-a-lifetime, one-in-history event. This happens once ever. We're playing the campaign for North Africa. Board game, never beaten by anyone else. That anyone else has proven. But we're here to do it, and we are currently in the midst of the last turn of our 6-turn practice run. It's been a long 18 months, and we have finished op stage 1 of turn 6, leaving only 2 op stages to go. How does that feel, Andy?
It felt like the end was miles away, and now it's very close.
It's right around the corner, and I think that was made even more apparent today because we beat the op stage in one go. In one sitting, we sat down, knife and fork out, we threw away the chopsticks, we threw away the dessert spoon, and we just wolfed it down. We devoured it, no scraps. And what an op stage.
Yeah, this was a biggie. This was a hugey.
I had a hell of a time. There were some losses on both sides, some tactical wins, some tactical whoopsies, and it's changed the game state. It's put us in a much more tense space. I suppose instead of teasing it anymore, we should probably just get into it.
Yeah, so kicked it off with your air stuff.
My air stuff, and wow, I was jolly this time round. I didn't get air stuff last op stage because of the sandstorm. That really prohibited any kind of aircraft taking off. What it didn't do, though, is stop me from refitting some of my guys. So I continued to refit. So I had 2 op stages, really, of refitted planes.
Is this pretty close to like 100% of your bombers were in use?
I wouldn't say 100% because, first of all, 100%, even if we're factoring in the surviving planes from these squads, because a lot of them have missing guys, thanks to you and your guys, we're still looking at not quite capacity, because my rolls for Italian aircraft refits are hindered. I have to roll the die and add 2 to that result, and going higher in the numbers is bad.
You need 1 to get 100%, so it's
impossible.
Yeah.
So it's been stacking up those values, and it has meant I had a lot of them which were at the capacity I can use them in, which is 8 planes at a time.
Yeah.
So that was good and merry. So I ended up launching my bombing run, and because of the rainstorm positioned over maps D and E, you couldn't launch any close air patrol to defend you guys.
Yeah, which is a bit of a shame.
It was perfect. Perfect for me, because that meant going into it, I was able to drop bombs with no recompense whatsoever. There was no knockback on me, so I got to just pick and choose. And choose I did, with a lot of bombs as well.
Yes.
A total of 2 bombing runs. One was a dropping of 480 bombs on the 7th Armoured Division.
Yes.
And I dropped another 84 bombs on the 2nd New Zealand.
Yes.
The 2nd New Zealand, I managed to roll fairly well, and I pinned 2.
Yep, that sounds right.
Yep, pinned 2 of you guys. I went for your infantry. Decided, let's stop those guys, because they're difficult to move at the best of times. So if I can half their capacity for movement, that's perfect. And as for the 7th, you may or may not recall, last time, I left them boxed in a little bit between all my guys. I thought, what better way to galvanize that horrible situation than by pinning them? Pin them I did. I rolled nice and pretty. I managed to pin 6 groups, 6 units. And I picked all infantry.
Yes.
Because that will then slow down your combined arms rules when it comes to helping your tanks out. And means they can't really get anywhere.
Yeah, well, it's half.
Half CPA. And even though they're motorized, so it doesn't really matter all that much with infantry, I guess, it still breaks up combined arms. And that's the biggest thing for me, because your tanks, when they're rolling around, it's pretty decent toe points, and I've got a suspicion it's probably a 2 for the attack values.
3.
3, wow. Okay, so crazy.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at, even 5 toe points, you're looking at 15.
Yeah.
That's already, when rounded up, that's 2 actual strength points.
Yeah.
So I can't be dealing with that. So bomb them I did. I was happy with that. So I thought the only thing left to do there is move on to land, because we did all the little bits in between, which was nothing. No construction from you, Andy?
Nope.
No anything?
Yeah, well, construction's not going to finish in a meaningful time at this point.
You can make a supply dump. I think you can fix a bit of road.
Yeah, I'm not doing any of that.
Yeah. Why fix roads when no one's driving over the damn things?
Yeah.
So instead, I decided, let's waltz in my guys. So what I did was pincer the 7th with the 62nd and 64th. 2 divisions. How can that go wrong? Against a 7th Armored Division that is almost entirely pinned, infantry-wise?
Yep.
That's a sure thing.
Doesn't actually help you for what you were doing, though.
Now, Andy, I forgot that.
Yes.
See, I thought it had the same effect as barrage, but I forgot that air barrage is secondary bombardment.
Yes, it's a different thing.
So it doesn't actually stop them participating in combat. And in the excitement, I will admit, that slipped my mind a bit.
It would stop them if they were the aggressors. They couldn't start a combat. You can't do voluntary combat, but defense is involuntary, so they were fine.
And with me having the fully fed 62nd and 64th ready to go and able to make offensive movement, I brought them in. And it was looking good until we actually looked at it. And when you take the numbers and when you look at the morale difference, morale-wise, I was fine. We went into combat, rolled morale, and I ended up with a 0, which is better than -1.
Yep.
You ended up with a +3.
Yep.
That's not great. That puts it to -3 for me. Division size, we're both divisions, so flat, still at -3. Then we start a bit of looking at the ins and outs. Barrage-wise, I went for some barrages. I took out a couple of you guys. I think it was only 2. And from there, the differential really got me.
Yes.
You see, I forgot that these guys are bigger than me. And also, your barrage managed to pin everybody meaningful I had in the 62nd.
Yeah. Well, we actually had sort of a thing about barrage where you need a 50... If you just use one barrage point, you need a 54 or higher to pin an infantry.
Yes.
Which on the 36 system, you've got 8. It's 8 out of 36 odds on just a random one shot.
That's good odds.
Yeah. It's better odds than solidifying them up the table. At least it feels like it.
Yeah, well, it's nearly a quarter of the time you're going to hit.
So if you get up to 4 barrage points, you're nowhere. That's one column along, isn't it?
Yeah, 1 and 2 is one column, then 3 and 4, and so on, and that continues all the way up to 17. So if you, instead of having 4 separate barrages, you just condense those down into one barrage of 4 points, well, at that point, you're already wasting stuff because 3 barrage points is the exact same value.
Yeah.
And like everything else, to get the points, you need to divide by 10. So you're talking about using 40 raw barrage points.
When you could get away with 30.
You get away with 30. You can get away with 26.
You get away with 26, yeah.
So you're wasting 14 barrage points.
Yeah.
So it's crazy if you do that. So instead, you can drop it down. You can drop 6 raw points, which drops to 0.6. It rounds up to 1.
Yeah.
And you can barrage.
So if they have 6 barrage or higher, they can just do 1s.
So you do that. That is the logical thing.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we did.
Yeah, we've not done the maths, but I just don't eyeball test. There's no reason to group them.
Yeah, it feels better doing this as well. The scattershot approach, it's the rolling more dice thing. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's exciting. It's adrenaline filled.
So if it's both more exciting and better mathematically, I don't know.
I would take the more exciting. It doesn't matter if it's mathematic.
No, but the problem is the more exciting is also the more mathematically.
Yeah.
So why would you ever do the opposite? It's less fun and less effective.
Would you ever do anything but? So we did exactly that. We decided to spray and pray, and I didn't pray hard enough, it would seem. you sprayed pretty hard. So I ended up having all of the 62nd pinned, all being 2 infantry and 1 tank.
Yep.
Well, 1 tank group. So they were useless apart from some of their forward-placed guns. And then I had my 64th. I think you pinned 2 of those as well.
Yeah, I got pretty lucky.
Out of 5, I think it was.
6 on 1 and then 5 on the one where I got 2 in the armor.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it was a mess.
Yeah.
I realized it was going bad at that stage, and the differential threw it out of whack. I think it was -6.
Yep.
Which had the unfortunate result of me being hit pretty hard because first time round it was 0 each.
Yep.
We took no losses either side. I thought, hey, in that case, I'll do it again.
Yeah.
This time round, you didn't pin all of the 62nd. You did pin some of the 64th, I believe. And then we went into it, and unfortunately...
And I guess primarily, I had less pinned guys.
Which was a big thing.
Which spiked my defense score, because I could get them involved.
Significantly. The end result there, I think, ended up being -8.
Yep.
And that, unfortunately, meant when we rolled the dice, I took 0 off your guys. You destroyed 50% of mine.
Yes.
Now, 50% is a big number.
Yes,
because it's
the
half.
biggest on the table.
It's half. Take all of my guys there that were doing the fight, split
Kill
them into
half
2
of them.
groups, and half of them are gone.
Yeah.
That's it. It's very simple maths. I'm sure you all know how half works, but it was still a shock to the system. It was an upsetting one, and it was a moment of laugh or cry, or I guess get angry. That's probably what I'd usually go for. But it's the end of the game. I was excited, and this was entirely my fault. I can't blame any rules for this one. I can't even pretend to blame the game. This was James's fault. So I lost half my guys.
Some good growth.
You know what? I'm willing to accept it when it's not because of complicated rules. Half is simple, Andy.
Okay.
And half is what I lost. But, glass half full, half my men are alive. More than half because some were pinned.
Yes, and it wasn't an overrun, I guess.
And it wasn't over. It couldn't be by the metrics of it because I was attacking.
Is there not one on the other end?
No, you
not
can't.
An overrun. Oh,
No,
it's
no.
just really bad, isn't it?
Yeah, there's much more of a high odd of you losing more men when you're the attacker.
Yeah.
As that scale moves along, the attacker, it's not in favour of.
Yeah.
So you really need to go in hard and commit to it, otherwise the attacker is penalised. Yeah. So that wasn't great. With that happening, I decided, let's cool off a bit. I pulled those guys apart.
You did.
I broke them off. I've got them 1 hex away, so they still have a zone of control bordering up against you. And that meant, because of the positioning of them, the Maletti division and the Tobruk, the Bardia garrison, it meant that there is a zone of control everywhere you go.
Yes.
You can't go anywhere without being in a zone of control. And because of the pin that I got from the air, it means you can't actually go in there.
Yeah, I could have done like a weird only armor.
Yeah, you could have tried something. It would have been a mess, but you could have given it a go.
Yeah.
But even then, you can only do defensive combat.
No, because the non-infantry could attack.
Oh, yes, of course. Yeah, no, that's a good point. Yeah, those guys could have. Yeah, so if you keep them all
It
together...
would be a pure armor and gun, no infantry. So the combined arms would...
immediately kick in, and you have 0 from the tanks, and then it's just a gunfight.
Might end up with more than 0 because it caps at a -4.
Oh, yes.
So you could push through, but that's a lot of tanks at risk.
Because,
for a tiny...
Because then whatever you're losing, it's coming from the tanks.
It's all tanks, yeah.
Which I would have loved, but you smartly decided not to.
Yeah.
But I'm getting ahead of myself. So after pulling them away, another bit of movement I had done was to move the guys away from the escarpment where the New Zealand guys were.
Yeah.
It's New Zealand, isn't it?
Yeah.
So where the New Zealand guys were, just on the edge of the escarpment, I pulled away the 63rd and the 2nd Libyan so that they were still at the bottom, but they were just 1 hex away. So if you decide
can't get the massive boost.
Yeah, if you decide to come down, you are going to be hit by them kind of on a forward flank from both.
Yeah.
So it's not ideal positioning for you. And that was my movement. That was it. Wrapped up in a nutshell. I was pretty pleased with it at first, in theory. Thought it would go a lot better. I was talking about it at work today, saying that I was going to send the 7th Armoured Division straight into hell. Turns out, no. Historically, if anyone deserves to, it's probably the Italian fascists, if we had to pick and choose. So I guess this works out morally.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that morally.
But also, like, compared to what they did in the series we did on the 7th, if they died in Graziani's offensive, that's a real fall off.
Yeah, I need to pick them apart before they come together. We decided this last time. I need to really go in on them. So then it moved over to you, Andy.
It did.
And this went, again, differently than we expected.
Yeah. So I didn't move the 7th at all.
Smart move, I think.
Kept them in their box. Same with the 2nd New Zealand.
Seems, again, prudent.
Yeah. Moved some guys up from Mercer Matru to City Barani. The guys who had looped back to fight the second?
The second black shirts.
Yeah, so they're all dead now, so those guys are coming back to the front.
Satan rest their soul.
And then the Aussies showed up, and they fought, I think, one truck, one armoured car.
Yeah, so these were the guys this is where I had a bit of my breakdown a few weeks ago. So these guys were part of the 63rd Serene, the ones that fell down the escarpment.
Yep.
And the ones that I intended to have retreat into your supply dump.
Yeah.
That's why I broke them off, so they could retreat into the supply dump. Instead, I had to have them retreat nearby, and then when you went to the supply dump, I thought, well, they can't go there. So instead, I zipped them up the gap on the east side of the escarpment and held them at the top to try and block your trucks moving past.
Yeah.
Which is where they remained until you approached them.
Which also I didn't realise, because they wouldn't have a zone of control, would they?
They wouldn't. No, they're not big enough.
Yeah, so I could have just ignored them.
You could have moved past, yeah.
Yeah. But they were there, and it was also the end of this Aussies movement, so...
You had to do something.
Yeah.
You had to make it worthwhile.
So got rid of them.
It was not even close, by the way. You absolutely destroyed them.
Yeah, I thought they were bigger than one tow point, so I
one
put
tow
quite
point.
a bit in.
Good values. 4 attack, 3 defense.
Yeah, I've noticed that the armoured car, like the Recons, are by far the best. Like, they're better than a lot of my tank units.
Yeah, same. I've got some infantry that are 5 and 7, but that's crazy. Yeah, well, you pinned some of them. They were in the 64th.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing, actually. So you actually have the more elite infantry.
If you boil it down to their scores, yeah.
Yeah.
But I have fewer men.
Oh, because I've got one that's 4-6 and it caps at 3 tow.
These guys are, I'm not sure what the cap is, but they've got 2 tow in the unit.
Yeah.
So 2 tow or 5 attack, 7 defense.
That's fucking crazy.
And I had one in the 64th, one in the 62nd, and you pinned both of them the first time, one in each, and then the second time round you pinned them just in the 64th.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you took out one full actual strength point.
Yeah.
With just those guys being pinned. Most of my guys are 1 attack, 1 defense, and 5 tow.
Yeah. Speaking of armoured cars, the armoured cars I broke off last time, one of them whizzed down, so I now control Siwa.
Yeah, that was an interesting move, because you were humming and hawing at the board, and when you asked about my garrisons down towards the south, if those were the guys I left starving, I knew immediately what was coming. And it really painted the picture of, I think, what the rest of the game is going to be, because you zip those guys straight down there, they took Siwa because there's no one around. Poor Saharan detachment, they are long gone.
Yeah.
Not long for this world. So you just walk straight into the oasis, drank from the magical waters. I presume it's magical. It's got to be.
I think Alexander the Great went there to get some kind of prophecy.
Oh, well, yeah.
So there is actually some mysticism.
I wonder if they've got any prophecies when they go out. That's what they need to add into this.
Prophecies?
It's the fifth thing to keep track of.
Fate.
You've got your fuel, your water, you've got your stores, your ammo, and destiny.
These guys are running out of destiny.
Well, clearly the Saharan detachment didn't drink heavy when they were there. They did not take a goblet each. They simply looked and turned their nose about it, lest they knew what would befall them at the gates of Alexandria.
They might be having a better time than anyone else in your army.
I don't know. There are some guys at the Libyan, I think it's the Libyan parachute regiment, They've just been chilling around in a village. Albeit starving, yeah, but, you know.
Yeah, but this Saharan detachment got a free trip to Europe.
Yeah, but at what cost? Psychologically.
Yeah.
They showed up in Alexandria and en masse decided, fuck, I'm not doing this anymore. Which in another world could have been us with playing the game.
Oh, if only we'd surrendered at the gates of the game.
My spirit animal is the Saharan detachment camel.
It's your spirit animal's dead.
Oh, but yeah, I don't know what happens to the camels, but apparently they end up in Europe.
Yeah.
They're in a zoo somewhere.
They're in Edinburgh Zoo.
The Edinburgh Zoo camels are actually descendants of the Saharan detachment camels. We should go see them.
I wonder, this is going to be a dumb sentence, I wonder if there's any zoos that have ever had animal prisoners of war as the exhibit.
It's a stupid question, but I'm 90% sure the answer is yes.
Yeah, I'd like to know the circumstances of
Their detainment.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not their fault.
No, I guess a zoo's probably one of the better fates for an animal captured in war.
Well, the nature of a zoo is you kind of have to be nice to the animals.
Yeah, well,
You're meant to.
You're
not supposed to take animals into a zoo to abuse them. I guess that's the same with anywhere animals.
That's
are,
also the same with human prisoners and prison camps.
But zoos are they're meant to preserve animal. And,
yeah,
meant to preserve animal. And you said yours was a stupid sentence. So I guess that's where the camels are.
I'm also picturing some ancient king captured some other kingdom where they had a favorite lion and then put it in their menagerie.
Oh yeah, or had it in their throne room.
Anyone who happens to know about the very niche topic of animal prisoners of war who ended up in zoos, please email in info@warformate.co.uk.
I think the odds of that, of one of our listeners having that niche knowledge, is higher than the chance that there were animal prisoners of war. And that's not because I don't think it's likely there were animal prisoners of war. It's because every time we mention some weird fucking thing on this podcast, someone emails in and goes, "Oh,
I do
about
this.
That.
This is my this is
my actually
niche interest."
Not only do I know about this, but me and my friends do this every week. So yeah, interested to hear from you guys about that. Whoever it is, look out for that one next week. But that wasn't all. You had one more thing to do.
Yes, the Fourth Indian. I really ummed and ahed about this.
Yeah, and rightly so.
And it ended up being, I think, the wrong decision, but not for a reason I foresaw. So they left Sidi Barrani and they whizzed along the coast and they attacked up the escarpment against the Tobruk garrison. We've got 2 op stages left, so my thing was, if I'm going for Bardia, I need to
break
make
that
a
wall.
move now.
Hellfire Pass. I've got a lock on that.
Yeah.
And that lock is the Tobruk garrison. They've been sat there for 2 turns now, nearly.
And they are terrifying.
I put them there a while ago, and I was thinking, when I've got them there, and there's a slope just to their south, when I put a division there, and there was a division sat there for a while, I thought, if you show up there and try and go up that hill, they are going to hit you from the escarpment.
Yes.
Which means you'll be fighting up an escarpment. The rule overrides, so all of it's an escarpment fight.
Yeah.
And then you're fighting a division as well. And I was just looking at the guns, and the guns alone, their barrage capability is insane.
Was it 12 guns?
It's, no, I think it's 8. I think it's 8 guns, and it comes out at about 322 raw barrage points.
Yeah, that
so
sounds,
32 barrage points.
Yeah.
And 32 barrage points, the table caps out at 17. And as we just discussed, that is just 32 individual barrages.
Yeah.
And that is exactly how that went.
So I had 7 infantry in the 4th, and I think you bombed all of them at least 3 times, and some of them 4.
Yes. The first bite at the cherry, because you attacked twice, the first time I pinned all of them. All of the infantry were pinned comfortably.
Yeah. That was the time I lost. So the first time they attacked, they lost 20%? Or was that?
First time it was 10.
10.
It was actually less the first time.
And then 20 the next.
Yeah, so I took off 10%. The differential was not in my favour. The differential was minus... sorry, it wasn't my favour. It was -4.
For the first one.
Yeah, I think it was -4 for the first one.
Because the first one, because you'd pinned all my infantry, but I had a tank free.
Yeah.
You can not attack if you have no one who can attack. You're not like forced into it because you left that tank. I had to go in. And then because of combined arms,
it came out
of 0. So I got very lucky to not get much worse there.
Yeah, the morale came in clutch because I had -3, you had +3.
Yeah.
That was a difference of 6. And then the division size shifted it 2 more columns in your favour.
Yeah.
But then what brought it back was the fact that I had 7 commitment points of strength.
Yeah.
And because it's up an escarpment, it moved 3 columns to the left as well. So that swung into a -4. I took off 10% of your guys, and you went again, which I did not expect.
My logic there was you've done a huge barrage.
Oh, God, yeah.
If you've emptied the tank, as it were, this is probably my one chance before you resupply to, like... Because I did in the second attack force a retreat.
Yeah,
You just decided not to go for it. Because if you'd done that retreat, I would have been...
Job done. That you would have achieved exactly what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
Because I used up a lot of ammo. I couldn't do the same barrage again. I had to do a much smaller barrage.
Which is why I ended up with the differential was like 0 before we added like terrain and size and stuff.
Yeah, and then I think it was +4 in your favour in the end with everything else. So +4 to you. I managed to take 20% off you. That was crazy good.
Yes.
20% loss for you.
You rolled really low, didn't you?
11.
Yeah. So we had 2 11 rolls this session.
Yes. One of them was on me losing 50%. One was you losing 20. So on our respective op stages, we lost the most we could lose in that combat.
Yeah.
And I lost 15, which went up to 25 because I refused the 1 hex retreat.
Yeah.
So I held my ground. I used up a lot of ammo, which was only mitigated by the thing that followed. The only other thing, you moved back to...
I then moved back because I was like, if you get another, like, as you mentioned, that is just a death. You could move the guys who are around it.
Yeah, I could move. I mean, the 4th black shirts at the moment are just down the road near Madalena.
Yeah.
I can move them up. It's going to be costly, but I'll take that cohesion hit to blast you from that escarpment.
Yeah.
So I was definitely going to do that, but you pulled away. You're 1 hex away from that point now. So then we did trucks, which was super quick.
Just super fast because we both abandoned we've abandoned any form of long-term thinking on the trucks because we've got 2 op stages left, so there's no
future.
Yeah, this needs to be sustainable. So I think I've attached like most of my trucks to units now.
Yeah, as one-dimensional creatures, we can just think about sticking our trucks on guys, put our guys on wheels. I've got 2 convoys. I've got 1 that's supplying my airfields around map A, and I've got 1 that is in Bardia, which has some trucks left.
Okay, so your airfields on map B are going to be done.
Yeah. I didn't use any of those in this bombing run. I've still got some planes left.
Right.
But my fear was if something goes wrong on map A, and I can use map B, then I'll keep them. So I've got 1 last ditch.
Because do you have no fighters left?
I've got no fighters. Well,
Yeah.
I have fighters. They're fitted, but they are both on map A, and they have no SGSU.
So they can't do they can't even do a transfer flight to get to...
No.
Right, okay.
No.
How did that end up happening?
I moved them. They were the guys who went to Madalena.
Oh, the SGSU.
Yes.
They went and got picked off.
Yeah, the SGSUs went along to Madalena.
Yeah.
So I guess it is the fate of all SGSUs that if they're working with fighters, they go to Madalena to die.
Yes. It's a bit of an elephant graveyard.
It is the Trenzalore of SGSUs. Doctor Who reference.
I know.
It's a niche reference for those who aren't Doctor Who fans. Just sounds like a weird place.
Whovians.
Whovians, that's what they call them.
Yeah.
Henry Whovians.
And they're about to go through the thing that a lot of fandoms do where they don't make any new stuff for it, so the fandom gets really fucking weird.
The thing is, Doctor Who fans have done this before.
Yeah.
They've had this before.
Well, not really.
Yeah.
Because there was the gap between the old ones and the new ones.
Well, yeah, McCoy's
But
era.
I think the people who are like really into Doctor Who now aren't people who ever watched the old series as it was coming out. Like this will be their first hiatus.
I guess there will be
the
modern
majority. I think
there'll be modern fans. Yeah, definitely. But it probably is the majority. But there will definitely be some where the fan base en masse, it's happened before. There's lore, there's canon to hiatus and
Because
cancellation.
like my parents watched the old one when it was coming out, but then they were like not that interested in the new one.
That's interesting.
They watched it with me, but once I moved out, they never watched it again.
Yeah, I guess it is totally different in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but that's what they'll be going through. We'll have that soon. We'll have a hiatus soon.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll be recording episodes still, but we'll be getting ready for the main game.
Yes.
But we've still got stuff to finish off.
Yeah.
Trucks were done.
I will say, I don't know if I mentioned it, that garrison is so not what I was expecting. Like, that's
amazing.
Changed the way I look at the tiles, even.
Yeah, because there are 2 on the stacking point value. So they're not a division. They're not the weird one in the middle, which is a 3.
Yeah,
there are 2. And they have 10 infantry, 10 units of infantry.
Yeah.
Which all have individual toe points. And by the way, some of them are more than 5.
Yeah.
And then they've got 8 guns, and some of the guns have barrage ratings of 15.
Yeah.
Which means on their own, with 1 toe point, they would be able to do 2 barrage points.
Yeah. And none of the things I own have 10 infantry in them.
Yeah.
Or ever did.
Well, they were so big.
Yeah.
Like, I was worried at first I wasn't going to be able to use all of the barrages because of ammo. But then I had a look and realised the massive discrepancy between toe point and barrage because of how high the ratings were.
Yeah.
Because at first I was like, oh my god, like 322 times 4. And I was like, no, that's not it. Divided by 10, James. And I was like, that's still insane. And then I was like, oh, it's actually all right. I don't have to do that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, crazy, crazy destructive value. But I managed to do some nasty damage with that. Moved my trucks as well. I just resupplied my airfields. I zipped my guys from Bardia down, resupplied the Tobruk garrison.
Yeah.
So they now have more ammo. I've even dropped some there on the tile for them to have.
Yeah.
And I also went down and supplied the 62nd because they are the only guys in that little box cluster around the 7th that I could get to.
Yeah.
Well, I could get the Mileti division, but they're kind of fucked. So
yeah,
it's a waste of time to supply them too much.
I mean, the scattering of divisions around the 7th, correct me if I'm wrong, but they are ravaged.
Yes.
Like, there's not a division there that's even close to healthy.
64th is still good, but that 50% loss that they took, they're only good in comparison to their neighbours.
Yeah.
I've got the 4th, which are nearby. They, I don't think, are too badly beaten up. I might be wrong. Mileti are very bad. The 63rd that went down the escarpment are terrible. The 2nd Libyan that are down at the bottom of the escarpment, they're okay.
Yeah.
They're actually, I think, entirely intact. I think they even have positive cohesion. And they're now fully motorized.
Okay.
So they're pretty cool. But all in all, I've got a real messy situation going on there. But it's enough, I hope, to keep you boxed in.
Well, that's what I was going to get to, is even if they're shattered, they still fill that hole, the line roll.
Yeah.
They're still... Because what they are, I'm guessing, the way I'm looking at them, I don't know if... I'm looking at them as CPA sponges rather than like a threat, if that makes sense.
Well,
they're not going to
kill you.
cause any damage to the 7th, but they might take 10 to 15 CPA to get past.
Yeah, at this point, after the 50% loss, I know with 100% certainty they won't take out the 7th.
No.
They won't take out the 4th. They won't take out the 2nd New Zealand.
But they could hold them.
They can hold them. They can chip away at 5 or 10% in a very lucky combat for me.
Yeah.
And more importantly, waste your time.
That's the big one. Because I really thought... I know I'm going back to it, not to sound like salty, but I really thought I'd done a good job of peeling everything away from the pass.
You did a really good job.
And then I had a 2 left. I just didn't realise it was a big old meaty 2. So,
and even with the losses you inflicted, 25%,
yeah,
that isn't that much when you look at the guns, because the guns are small toe points that weren't even involved in the defence because they don't have defence ratings.
Yeah.
What you took off was the infantry that were there to, I guess, placate the combat. The barrage is what that thing is.
It's a barrage machine with a meat shield.
Yeah, it's got a meat shield so it can play in combat. But realistically, I just need that there while I move a division in. And that's where that ends. You don't do anything while that's there. You don't get up that hill while that is there with a division.
No.
That will delay you for the rest of the game. You need to move those guys or find another way to Bardia.
Yeah, which is...
easier said than done. I mean, that's been what you've been trying to do for the last turn.
Yeah.
So, with the state of play now, Andy, we have 2 op stages left. We each have a land combat phase. We each have, if we're lucky, air combat. Which, I guess, no, we did have one more thing to mention.
Yes, we rolled weather for op stage 2.
And because I've elected to go first in op stage 2, look at me, I will be rolling the weather. I have rolled the weather, and it's normal weather. All aircraft will be proceeding next op stage.
Yes.
That will be interesting because I think you're going to go hell for leather.
I mean, yeah.
I will have to. My refit is going to be interesting this time round because my ammo is not going to be as plentiful in some areas. So, yeah, I'm not excited for that as much as I was this time round. But we've got these 2 op stages. How do you feel, Andy?
I'm really pumped. One, this felt like a really fun just gameplay session.
I think, this was the most tense I've felt during a play session, where the heavy losses on both sides, the fact it's at the end, I don't need to worry about like playing the next 10 years, so I don't have like an anxiety I had at the start of the practice run.
Yeah.
Like turn 3, 4, where I was like, well, I've got months left. If I lose a division now, I can't play the game anymore.
Yeah.
But now, if I'm losing a division, it's like, they had a good run. Did they serve the function in this fight? Because all I have to do is survive 2 more fights.
Yes.
But it was still nail-biting. When I took that 50% loss, I had no idea where the rest of that was going to go. If you were going to sneak up on those guys and blow them to smithereens. But you, I think rightfully so, ignored them and moved up towards Bardia.
I'm very happy this isn't going to end with your wall just holds. I push against it but don't get past it. You've still got the wall, but things have like broken up a bit, so it feels like a more interesting game state.
Yes.
And I'm leaning towards... I think because it's hard to dislodge a unit, I think I'm going to run out of time to take Bardia.
That's my hope.
Yeah. And it's... the game state wouldn't be like this if there was one more turn. But I think if this had been 7 turns, I would think I was going to win. Now I think you're going to hold on to the win condition because I'm going to run out of time.
Which is what I'm praying for.
Yeah.
I can't pull out another win condition, so all I've got is the pseudo win.
Yeah.
Which is the only way we can kind of measure a definitive victory.
Because that's also why I whip those guys down to Seaware, because I think the worst feeling would be I get lucky and do a good job tactically, take Bardia, but then don't have time to get to Siwa, so I don't hit. If I took Bardia and didn't hit the win condition, I'd be so gutted that I just have to send those guys down there, even if they would be the ones that let me take Bardia. Like, if they would be the, like, thumb on the scale.
Yeah.
Because I just can't.
Well, yeah, you don't want to miss it by a technicality.
Yeah.
Because at the moment, I'm winning by technicality. So if you lost by technicality, that would be devastating. That would be unfair.
Yeah.
If you take Bardia at any point, that's a win for you.
Oh, yeah.
So you're on the cusp of it. I'm with you. I think I can hold it long enough. Having said that, I went into this today thinking, and albeit I forgot about bombardment rules on one side, I really thought I was going to be able to chew up the 7th. So it's not impossible that something could still go awry.
Yeah.
I don't know what, but I know there could be something. There's so many rules in that book.
And I've got one thing left to use that will have a big impact, which is I get one more upstage of the fleet to bombard something.
Yes, that could do some damage.
Spoilers, it's going to be Bardia.
I know.
It's it's either going to be a spite bombardment on Bardia where I don't have any guys to take advantage of it and I'm just bombing the shit out of it, or it'll be, maybe the thing that like gives them the edge to take it.
And you know what I mentioned earlier today that I have a contingency that's still active? It's for the bombardment from your ships.
Okay, interesting.
I have a contingency ready.
It Air Force?
No, I can't rely on my Air Force because of the fact I might not get to use them at any given stage.
Huh, I'm interested.
It's not to stop your coastal defenses. It's to work around when they do go into action.
Oh, okay. I think I know it. Yeah, I don't know exactly what you mean, but I get what you're getting at.
Yeah, if they drop their bombardment and fuck up Bardia, I have a plan to keep Bardia defensible.
Okay, interesting. Because they can only do one bombardment, so it's not like I can put them off the coast and every fight that happens next to them it's the one.
Yeah, and I think this only really works, I think, if you bombard them next op stage. I don't know that it works in op stage 3.
What, your contingency or just the whole thing?
The contingency.
Right.
I think I need enough prep time that it needs to be in op stage 2, but we'll see.
Well, I think here's the thing realistically. Next op stage, I need to get at least one unit in contact with Bardia.
If you don't, you don't have time.
Then I don't have time or CPA to win. What I will say is, 7th are on 10 cohesion.
Yes, so they're sitting pretty.
The 4th pushed themselves, but because the retreat that then didn't happen, they're on 4.
Okay.
And then the 2nd, I think, have 9, maybe. So basically, I've got a lot of coherence to burn.
Okay, yeah. So you're all right. You can double tap. You can go in for extra hits. What you didn't do, you weren't able to resupply the 7th with trucks.
No.
Because they're boxed in. So I'm hoping I can starve them out of ammo just by having them chew up in that group. I don't think the 7 gets to Bardia.
No. But I think if the 7th holds, what are they currently pinning? Like, I know you're pinning them, but in a way they are also pinning, 5, 6 divisions?
They're pinning 3 divisions and a big gun garrison.
Yeah.
The Bardia one. The Bardia one.
Yeah. So they are doing what you can't really ask more you've given consistent losses and delayed 5 times your number.
Well, they're doing more than pinning them. Yeah. They've destroyed them.
Yeah.
What they're pinning now are skeletons.
Remnants, yeah.
So there's nothing really left of any might. If I put all 4 of those together and ram them up against the 7th, I think the 7th wins against all 4 of them.
Right, okay.
So all I can pray is that they can hold you off long enough. My goal, I think, is a mini objective. Don't let the 7th get to Bardia. Just as a point of pride, so I can say they did their job, because I moved everyone out of the wall to start going on the offensive to just try and do some damage and mean that even if you do break through the wall, at least I hit you hard first, rather than letting you just churn through my guys and then get to Bardia and you're dealing with just wrecked divisions.
Yeah.
I've kept some guys back and I threw those guys to the wolves and they've done some damage to you.
Oh, yeah. The 7th I've had to reinforce them with infantry from other places.
Yeah, so
they're not... It's not just the 7th. There's 2 other infantry guys attached.
Which I'm pleased to have done. I'm amazed we've got to this point.
Yeah.
And it's coming down to the wire. It's still... It looks like it's me who's going to pull this out, but it's also not certain. So I'm excited to see where this practice run ends. I'm excited to end the practice run. I'm terrified of starting the full game.
And I'm glad it's not ending in garbage time.
No, it's exciting still.
Yeah.
And today, again, it feels like one of those bright shining moments of this is a game and I'm enjoying playing it.
Yeah.
Because I flip-flop on that quite frequently, but I'm glad
I'm really glad we had this session after last week.
Because last week wasn't a bad one.
No, the week before. The last week wasn't. It wasn't like I'm out.
Yeah.
This
one, now it feels like the gloves are off.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to see the gloves come off and see what that looks like when we're throwing all of our guys at each other and just seeing what sticks.
Yeah. I think it's yeah. I think your garrisons are really interesting as well, because I guess you've got the thing of like, do you move them out early because they're like beefy and powerful,
Yeah.
or because it's going to be 111 turns? Those boys should stay.
Yeah.
Like, how are you? Because if you move them out and then I like destroy the Tobruk garrison on, say, like turn 40, you've got a problem for 70 turns in a way you wouldn't now.
Yeah, there's so much to measure up in the full game. That hiatus where we're sorting out the full playthrough is going to be really intense tactical planning that I don't know I've got the capacity for. So I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm scared. All in all, I think this is a net positive feeling.
Yes.
So I'll take that. I'll run with that. And I guess that was a big game wrap-up of Upstage 1 of the final turn. So let's bring it back down. Let's take it out of our hands and put our hands instead into the mailbag, where we'll find other hands of fans, and they're holding letters, and they're pushing them up out of the burlap sack. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So, what is in this bag? First email from Daniel. Daniel reads, or writes rather. I'm going to read. Daniel, you write. Scribe this. Good day, y'all. A lovely y'all. From Nebraska. I've been a long-time listener and now first-time emailer. Well, welcome, Daniel. Welcome to the fold. I found out about the podcast through one of your early Reddit posts on the Hex Encounter subreddit. I think around episode 15. That'll be right. I think that was the first one we put up. I think that was us starting to play the game.
Yeah.
Should be another one fairly soon. Alas, life got in the way at that time. I graduated from college that spring. Yippee. Hey, congrats, Daniel.
Yeah, well done.
We were busy wasting our time, so it's lovely to hear you were doing something worthwhile.
Yeah.
And I fell behind on your episodes. This past fall, I decided I'd email after I caught up, and here we are. I finished listening to your most recent episode, 75, and I found the podcast a blast since the very beginning. Well, thank you, Daniel. That's very flattering given how the beginning was. I don't listen to many podcasts, but your unique mix of board gaming, history, and general insanity has convinced me to stay for the long haul. It's been a good piece of media to listen to during the more menial tasks of my job, and while I play through my own Hex Encounter wargames. I picked up the hobby in high school, and have been obsessed with it ever since. Your early escapades and figuring out how to keep the game set up inspired me to create a virtual wargaming setup of my own. Magnets included. Oh, sorry, vertical, not virtual. That makes more sense. A vertical wargaming setup.
A virtual game with actual magnets.
With actual setup. Yeah, don't put magnets on your computer. That's not going to go well, buddy. I've attached some pictures of the setup at the moment, and I went a similar route using poster frames and galvanized steel in conjunction with rubber channel magnets to hold the counters in place. I'm quite proud of how it turned out. And you should be, because this is awesome.
Yeah,
We've seen some stuff like this before online, because we kind of debated doing something similar for this.
Of going vertical.
Yeah, going vertical, having those like clip-ons where you can like slide the pieces in, because it seems, well, one, it won't destroy the game as much.
Yeah.
And also stuff won't start falling off because we're using fucking blue tack, which is insane. I also, whenever I see galvanized steel, I don't know if you've seen it, Andy. It's probably not. You don't watch like TikTok and stuff like that, do you?
No. I'll fall into a brutal YouTube short hole, so
possibly
I think it's probably the same thing.
There's a trend, not really a trend, but there's this animated like series where it's this guy, it's like this voiceover where it's like, Bob moved into a tiny 5x5 apartment and needed to make it bigger.
Oh, is it? Oh, I was thinking, is this the thing where AI badly describes a movie scene?
No, but it's also badly done, because it'll be like, he's got this 5x5 apartment, he needs to fit everything in, and it's kind of like, how do you cram a living space into this tiny area?
Oh, but like a tiny house thing.
Yeah. And it would be that if every single video didn't include him creating a definitely illegal extension to the property using galvanized steel beams, where they're just like, and this is like an apartment on like the 50th floor of a skyscraper, and he just builds outward with these galvanized steel beams and creates like an extra 15 square feet of space. And it's like, how have you done this then, buddy?
Where is he? Like, where's it based?
It's all like animated. It's like I think
okay.
I don't know where it's meant to be, but wherever it is, I can't imagine this is legal.
No.
Even if it's some of the most like cowboy builds it's not fine to do. It's unsafe. So yeah, it always involves them using that, and it tickled me to see that. That's the only time I've seen it outside of that context. I have a few questions / thoughts about the game for you considering the air war. My first war game I ever played, Bloody April, Battle in the Skies over Arras, France, 1917, modelled tactical flights between World War I fighter plane squadrons. So I'm always interested in how games tackle portraying this unique form of combat. Well, we didn't have any air combat today, but we shall do our best, Dan. Hearing about you guys explain the rules and how they are implemented has left me wondering how important do you think the air war will play in the campaign game? In most traditional histories about the North African campaign, the air war is downplayed in favour of the epic tank clashes and manoeuvres in the open desert. But debatably, the real war was decided in the air. Do you think the game downplays its importance, or do you feel it's properly represented? Well, I guess, first of all, I'm not sure we're super qualified to give the verisimilitude an analysis in that sense, because we aren't super knowledgeable about all the facets of the campaign itself, but I will say that in the mechanics of the game, it does feel balanced.
It feels like it will never... You wouldn't win by purely dominating the air game.
No.
What the air game lets you do is influence the land game very directly.
Yes, that's a very good way to put it.
It lets you, like, I think I'm going to fight this, so I'm going to pin some of them to give my guys an advantage, or, like, I don't want that to move, so I'm going to pin it with bombs, rather than it being like, I'm bombing that unit, so I don't have to think about it for the rest of the game.
I guess
like,
in a
you're
way,
not getting rid of toe points, really.
Yeah, you can stray.
It feels like a movement controller.
Well, today's a perfect example for that.
With the 7th, yeah.
Yeah, I pinned the 7th, and in my short-sighted mind, I thought that meant I can take them apart in land combat. It doesn't do that.
No.
It allowed me to pin them, but all that did was restrict their movement and their options, their decidability. Whereas when it comes to an actual fight, you remove that, they would tear apart my guys. If I had that fight with them, the fight would have went probably the same. I lose 50%, but then afterwards, it's your movement. You march into them, you tear them to ribbons. So because of the air stuff, I could put you on hold, but I couldn't destroy you.
Yes, I mean, that's a good way of... And strafing...
It's cool.
It's cool. It doesn't feel strong at all. It feels like a...
I guess it depends
feels
on the
like
context.
A fallback use for something.
In the context, it's wildly powerful because one plane can strafe like 2 points and take out like 200 men. And it's like an individual group of planes can tear apart 200 men. In historical, real-life context, that seems crazy powerful. But in the context of the game, it's probably kind of balanced. It's not very realistic, I think, in that sense, which is a crazy thing to say about this game. I think it's not very realistic, but it does maybe sacrifice that to make the gameplay more realistic in the way they're balanced. You can like chip away at enemies, but without it becoming an overwhelming force where if you've got fighters in the air, you can just forget about being on the ground.
Yeah. You're never going to like get rid of something with your Air Force.
Definitely not. In the full game, it might be a different picture. Because if you're strafing every single op stage and you're strafing the same ground unit and you're taking off 2 toe points a go, that will add up.
That's a very good roll.
It is a good roll, and it's committing a lot of planes. So you're talking about using a lot of your Air Force and having no resistance to it. But it's possible. You can whittle away ground units. But again, I guess that comes down to managing your Air Force well. If you don't manage it well, the enemy can absolutely, take advantage of that.
Yeah.
But I would say, I'm going to sit on the side of it's balanced well in the context. I don't think it falls by the wayside and feels like a side piece, but it definitely isn't the most important either.
Yeah.
So I think all in all, game design wise, I'm comfortable that it works.
I think if you were going to break it down, it would be air, and then land, and then trucks in order of importance.
Yes. Yeah, because air supports land, land needs trucks to actually happen.
Yeah, and air needs trucks.
Everything needs trucks.
Everything needs trucks.
The game is trucks, and fuck the trucks.
Yes.
So, yeah, good question on the air stuff. Additionally, you've talked about infantry withdrawal in the main game. Do bomber or fighter squadrons ever withdraw to represent being assigned to another theatre? Or do they stay stagnant throughout the campaign, only ever gaining new pilots and craft? It could be interesting if, say, a German ace pilot was suddenly forced to head into the Eastern Front, depriving the access of a key air unit on the front. Overall, I think the air war could make an interesting history segment. I've been reading the book in Christopher Shaw's History of Mediterranean Air War, 1940 to 1945, and I think it would be a good place to start for general information. Anyways, I've rambled for far too long, and I need to get back to work. Try not to get too lost in the deserts of your minds. Subtly, humbly, and bravely, Daniel. And he's included a PS with his photos of Churchill's Greatest Gamble 1915, a board game in which he's got his vertical setup.
Oh, it's about Gallipoli, yeah.
Yeah, very cool.
Gallipoli 1915, yeah.
But to loop back around quickly, yeah, the withdrawal stuff, I don't think there's withdrawal off the top of my head.
No, I don't think so either. I really don't think there's anything pilot-wise.
Pilot-wise, there isn't. I'm completely sure of that because the ratings of ace pilots, you just kind of get a number and then you could pop them anywhere. So I guess the only way they could do that is you have to move X amount of aces off the map. And with the additional rule it gives you, you build up your aces through kill count. So I guess with that, it would mean you're kind of fighting an uphill battle where if you do that variant rule, you'd have to earn your aces with the risk that
have to get rid of them.
Yeah, with the risk that you only gain enough to just cover the payment of distributing them back to another theatre anyway.
Yeah.
So with that, I'm really confident there isn't. I'd have to go back and look, but I'm going to hang with a no on that one.
Yeah, I do think your airplanes come in and then
they're just kind of there. You get more of them. You get as many 0-star pilots as you need. They're unlimited. You've got one for every plane. If a plane exists, you've got a pilot for it. And the core rule, if you will, is that you get certain ranking of pilots come in every few weeks or months. But I think in the main game, we're going for the ace ranking system.
Yeah, that seems a lot of fun.
I'll enjoy that a lot. Yeah. I think that'll be cool for a narrative to weave within the story as well.
Yeah. As for the history segment on the air stuff, absolutely. It's just a thing I've had with the tanks and equipment as well of like, it would be for some people, but me like listing specs isn't interesting, I don't think. I mean, I personally don't find it that interesting to look into. So yeah, just finding like narratives within that are about the Air Force rather than like plane comparisons or anything like that.
Well, you've got a recommendation for some reading.
Yes, I've bumped that. That's gone straight onto my reading list.
Yeah, you get a little book list from the mailbag. Yeah. So I'm interested to see what kind of stuff you can find from there, because we've had some, I think, fun of the history segments has been a good blend of the narrative and the story, and then stuff like, the Dreadnoughts, for example, fairly recently. They've been a cool one, seeing the complete mismatch in terms of how they can tear apart. But I guess it doesn't boil down to the granular too much. Yeah,
it wasn't they have like 18-inch plate on 30%, like that kind of...
Yeah, because maybe we've got too much of that going on in the game already.
Yeah.
It would become nightmarish to do it outside. But
I also think that's the part... That's one of the things that made me think I wasn't interested in history, and in particular military history.
Because of the details.
Was the like specs on stuff. And the like... Is it like people arguing over doing top trumps on like tank specs and...
Yeah, these guys have this thickness on their armor and the tanks and... Yeah. But again, we covered a bit of that as well.
I think it's good to mention, but it's just making sure it's not just one or the other top trumps between stats.
But that sounds to me like an all in all, there will be air history segments.
100%. There'll be history segments about all of it.
There we go.
We've got long enough.
So there we go. To disseminate it down, Daniel, yes, we shall have air history segments by the sounds of it. I look forward to them as much as you do. And thank you for the email. Nice little delve into the air stuff. We don't really get many air questions, I feel. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm blindsided with all of the, I was going to say Heathcliff. We haven't had one like that in so long, but it just sits with me so fucking hard. I've got some sort of deep-seated trauma now
about
Heathcliff. He will never leave my mind. Whoever did that, by the way, never came forward.
It was Jeff Bezos.
It wasn't Jeff Bezos. He didn't send the fucking Heathcliff comic, so whoever did that is still out there on the loose.
And if it was you, Jeff, give me money.
I don't think that's how... You can't just extort... It's not even extortion, it's begging.
I'm not above begging to one of the richest people in the world.
I mean, I get where you're coming from, but...
If there's a reward to it.
But come on, man, not on the podcast. Do that in your own time.
Okay, I'll go back to bothering Jeff Bezos in my own time.
Go back to... I hate that you're using this as just a springboard for your own pathetic e-begging.
Send him enough emails, he'll send me a cool mill.
Oh, mill, yeah. I thought you meant like a mill, like a windmill.
No, I want a grain mill.
I don't trust you with a grain mill.
No.
I don't trust you with any kind of industrial equipment.
Well, I'd definitely be... Have you seen anything about when people fall into those grain silos?
Have I seen anything about when they fall in?
Yeah.
I'm aware people fall into grain silos.
Well, you can't, get out by yourself. They need to, put, metal...
Oh,
they
no,
need to,
I have
build
seen
a
this.
thing around you
That
so you don't
machine they
get,
put in.
sucked down, yeah.
Yeah, and it disperses out all of the grain. And,
Yeah.
fires it back up.
It's, such a specific piece of equipment that it's clearly very necessary and used quite a lot.
We should look up the name for that.
Yeah.
Although I can guarantee we're going to get an email about that.
Yeah,
Someone
we don't need to
tell
look
us
stuff
what
up.
that is.
We've got 5 people who will email us in.
Well, thank you for that email, Daniel. I think that's probably all the time we have for the mailbag for now. But thank you for sending that in. Some awesome stuff. I hope the board gaming goes well. Some good wargaming going on. And hope the college degree was worth the effort. I'm sure you'll be reaping the rewards. Because when you're committing years of your life to something, it means something. When we are, at the end of the day, we've just got a very valuable board game covered in blue tack.
Yeah, we're not going to get a piece of paper that gives us opportunities off of this.
We get one hot meal. And that's at the very end of the full thing. Before that, we get some Kinder Buenos, some of which were gifted, which are sat, hopefully, they're not in the fridge. I've seen your fridge, Andy, so they are sat in inclement weather.
I know where they are.
No, I didn't say you've lost them. I just don't think they're going to be safe to eat at this rate.
I think they've still been the best before.
Well,
but they've just experienced way more thermal stress than the
normal Kinder Bueno lifespan would encounter. Well, anyone else who wants to send in your emails, please do at info@warwithamate.co.uk. You can also reach us on the Instagram, warwithamate, which we update weekly, and the website, warwithamate.co.uk. We have it. We'd recommend holding off on sending web forms that way while we churn through the backlog, because some of those got lost by the wayside. But the website will be updated frequently in the full playthrough. And we also have some more announcements coming up for some of the big things to do with the full playthrough. So watch this space. We tend to announce them around the mailbag. That just seems to be where they slot.
Yeah, that's where we talk to people.
So, yeah, keep an ear out for when we wrap up the practice scenario. We got some stuff to talk about. But right now, talking about, well, that's what I'm going to let Andy do. That's very much your wheelhouse right now, buddy.
The men of the long-range desert patrols were quite a sight on their return to Cairo from a month's trip to Libya. The contrast between the east and west of the Nile is very marked. In the east, the country... At this point, I gave little thought to my future, but had always been interested in boats in the sea. I am more or less in the position of a captain in command of a ship, which is on the point of sinking because errors are present.
We are absolutely not qualified to share views on history. It is, of course, the history segment, in which Andy will be waltzing us through the days gone by.
Yes.
So, Andy, where and when are we?
Well, last time we covered Britain's domestic problems and primarily the fact they were all deeply ill leading up to World War One.
Yeah, surprisingly progressive moves that they made
Yes.
in some areas.
So that was their domestic. We're going to look at Britain's foreign policy leading up to World War One.
I feel like this may leave a little bit to be desired.
It might. So the opening quote: "We have had no allies. I'm afraid we have had no friends. We stand alone."
Okay.
And that's from Colonial Secretary Joseph Chamberlain after failing to negotiate with Germany in 1898.
Sorry, the guy saying we have no allies, we are alone is colonial secretary.
Yes.
As in places we have.
Yes.
To be fair, I guess he's got it dead on. They're not allies.
No.
But it just feels like a kid in glass houses situation.
Oh, yeah.
To be colonial secretary and saying, "Oh, we've got no pals." Stop fucking taking away people who could be your pals,
Yeah.
man. You gotta have friends if you own people.
Yeah, it's also, that was that's another interesting what if history moment, is that we failed to make an alliance with Germany in 1898, but what does the world look like if Britain and joins the triple?
Yeah, what happens if that gets cinched instead?
Yeah. Probably bad. Probably really bad.
I mean, yeah, if we had to, yeah.
So Britain have come out of their age of split-landed isolation. They've realised correctly that they have no friends. So they're going to start trying to make some treaties. The first of these is in 1902. And it's actually with Japan.
That's interesting. I didn't know this.
Yeah. So they got a few reasons to do this. They both have a reason of interest in containing Russia.
Yeah, that checks out.
And also, Japan's becoming a regional power, and it happens to be an island. So having an ally with the best navy in the world is very advantageous for them.
Yeah, but we are miles away.
Yeah, but we're in India, we're in Southeast Asia.
I'm thinking the wrong way. I'm thinking of
You're thinking
UK.
of what Britain should be.
Yeah, I'm thinking of geographical
Yeah.
UK and Britain. I'm not thinking of colonial.
No, this is their we own 20% of the world's surface, period.
Yeah, and alliances. Well, there'll be one nearby.
Yeah.
It's like Asda.
So this is also advantageous for Britain because it's getting worried about Germany building its fleets, the USA, so it wants to be able to pull back ships from around Japan to Europe, Mediterranean, so it can focus its fleet where it thinks its like biggest threats are.
Okay, yeah. Tactically sound.
Yeah. The terms of the deal are pretty interesting. I don't know. Again, would love to hear from anyone who knows about this, but it's a defensive alliance, but only if they're attacked by more than one nation.
Okay. That's an interesting trigger for it.
Yeah. This means Britain isn't obligated to get involved in the Russo-Japanese War, and that Japan isn't pulled into the Boer War. But what it does do, especially for Japan, is it has the effect of stopping Russia's ally France from getting involved. Because if France gets involved, Britain will get involved. So it's like, it's a good treaty by the Japanese to sort of keep most of Europe out of the way.
Yeah, it means any of these like little, side gigs that the Britain has got at that point where they're going off and starting wars with nations. If it's one at a time, then it's not something that's going to bring them into the fold. Smart.
Yeah. This will also have a huge effect on the Russo-Japanese War, which ends up being... I mentioned a few episodes ago when we talked about the Ottomans, that they saw Japan as like, we want to be the Japan of Europe. We like have a commonality with them.
Yeah.
It's because Japan fights off and beats Russia, and it's the first time like a non-European power in this period beats a European empire.
Yeah, which is a big milestone.
Yeah. So that's the first one they set up. The next up is the Entente Cordiale in 1904 between long-standing rivals Britain and France. This isn't an alliance, but it's a sort of solid move towards one. They resolve some long-standing disagreements.
It's good of them.
So France essentially sold its fishing rights near Canada as part of this deal. They create a buffer zone between their various territories in Southeast Asia, so they'll sort of set up sphere of influences, and they'll be like, we won't get too close to each other's colonies.
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
Part of this, France recognizes British control of Egypt, which is the veiled protectorate at this point. So it's you're recognizing that Britain owns land that is part of the Ottoman Empire. Yeah,
this is dicey.
And in return, Britain recognizes French control of Morocco, which I've not looked into massively, but from the surface level reading, looks like a pretty similar situation where France is the power behind. But yeah, they're both basically pulling the strings of these two countries and are like, you keep doing that, you will keep doing this. Like,
yeah, hey, we recognize that you're doing that. You recognize this? Yeah, we recognize that. Yeah, a lot of... Yeah, a lot of... It's not cool.
Yeah.
It's not cool.
And it'll become a theme. Egypt and Morocco are not consulted.
Of course not. That's why you have to go to the bigger neighbours and go, well, France said it's fine.
Yeah.
What does France have to fucking do with it?
So, yeah, this sets up, like, France and Britain, like, been going at it forever. But this is sort of leads the way for them being allies 10 years later when World War I kicks off.
Yes, yeah.
And then the third treaty here is the Anglo-Russian Entente in 1907. Similar agreement to the one in France, with them looking to resolve long-standing friction points between the two empires. Russia are also looking to reduce conflict because they've had a disaster in the Russo-Japanese War, which cost them a load of money and also deepened the rifts in the country, which will be a contributing factor to the Russian Revolution, that this war goes bad and like faith in the Tsars is lost.
So everyone gets their just desserts.
Yeah. It's also funny that part of the reason they lost is because of a deal Britain made with Japan. But
yeah, that's come out of left field a little bit.
Yeah. But what sort of binds them primarily is they're both very worried about Germany. Germany at this point is a new dynamic country. It's industrialized, scientific. It's like the big upcoming threat for Europe, which based on the following 50 years. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that being problematic.
Yeah. So the treaty brings to an end something called the Great Game, which is their decades-long conflict, sort of a Cold War in Central Asia between Britain and Russia for control and influence over Central Asia. Russia is looking to expand south into Central Asia, like through Iran and sort of down that way.
Yeah.
Britain is scared by this because it wants to keep the south of Iran open so it has access to India. Because they need that like overland route.
Okay, yes, I can picture that.
Yeah. So, yeah, one of the main elements here is they create a buffer zone between northern Persia, which the Russians had, and Britain to have a sphere of control in the southeast, which is important for keeping India's route open. Russia also agrees to recognize Afghanistan as a British protectorate, and it'll conduct any negotiations it wants to do with Afghanistan through Britain. This deal pisses off both Persia and Afghanistan, on account of them not being consulted.
What a horrible trend I see being set.
Oh, yeah. And we're going to go back a bit for the last important document as part of this, which is one of the many treaties of London. In particular, we're looking at the 1839 version, which is sort of when Belgium becomes a country, to the point where apparently there was some dispute in 2005 about like something to do with Belgium's like land and stuff, and referenced this treaty from 1839.
Oh, so that comes back to bite them.
Because this treaty, I might be getting some of this wrong. It recognizes Belgium as an actual country, and it recognizes its perpetual neutrality.
Right.
It also sets some of the borders for Luxembourg, but that's not important to our story. So the German plan, which again they'll do twice in the next 50 years, is to go through Belgium to get around the French line of fortifications. So when Germany invade Belgium on August 4th, 1914, Britain sends Germany an ultimatum to withdraw. When they did, the German Chancellor is actually shocked by this. And is like, why would Britain go to war over a scrap of paper?
That's kind of why a lot of people go to war.
Britain did, though, and it would use that line as propaganda against Germany to paint them as aggressors, and also use it to spin Britain, which is wild, to spin Britain as a protector of international law.
I'm calling bullshit on that.
Yeah, but that's how they used it from the propaganda. This is also obviously not just because we're defending the scrap of paper. This is not an entirely principled thing.
No.
Britain now has an interest in protecting France because Germans are much scarier southern neighbour. If Germany owns all the ports on the Channel and also has free access to the Atlantic, Britain and the British Empire is fucked.
Yeah, we're just an island.
Yes, so they get into it there as well. The British people are actually, like, as a general attitude, throughout the entire, like, July crisis that happens after Archduke Franz Ferdinand gets got. For that, most of that time, most British people want to be neutral. So most newspapers, the trade unions, the Liberal government, which is in power, are all pro-neutrality. Although the panic of impending war causes the London Stock Exchange to shut down on the July 31st, 1914, and to stay shut for 5 months, which is also, I thought, quite an interesting thing of, we're going to close the London Stock Exchange because we're worried about war. 5 months later, we're deep into a war, but we need it open again.
I mean, come on.
Yeah. An example of a newspaper that was a major anti-war voice is the Manchester Guardian. This is a quote from them. "If we, who might remain neutral, rush into war or let our attitude remain doubtful, it will be both a crime and an act of supreme and gratuitous folly." It's the invasion of Belgium that flips this round for the British people, who move from neutral to embracing the war. Even the Manchester Guardian get behind it after war's declared, with this being after war. We criticise the policy which has brought us into this position, but the government has now taken its decision, and it is the duty of every citizen to support it. And it was kind of that attitude. There'd been huge anti-war marches, but the day the war is declared, so it's declared at 11 p.m. August 4th, the country get behind it. The trade unions cancel any ongoing strikes. There's huge impromptu gatherings around the country, particularly outside Buckingham Palace. And over the next few days, roughly 30,000 men will volunteer a day to join World War One. And while the Boer War's rejection rate 15 years earlier was 40%, the first year of World War One, the rejection rate was only 33%.
Hey, look at that.
And then they changed the standards, in particular for height. It went from like 5'11" to like 5'2". Those aren't the exact things, but it went like they just dropped it right down. They were just like, we need guys. Those actually got formed into things called the Bantam battalions.
The what? Bantam?
Bantam. That's also, like, it's a weight class. I think in UFC it's like 135 pounds, so like 60 kilograms.
Right.
Is the, like, bantamweight division. So these are bantam battalions where it's like, oh, we now need to let shorter people in, but all the tall people we've already recruited. So you got these battalions of, like, short.
It's the Short King squad.
Yeah, it's the Short Kings. So, yeah, this is the diplomatic. Britain makes a few friends.
Look at them.
And then gets into war over document they signed before the Splendid Isolation.
This whole term of splendid isolation.
It's such a dumb term. I hate it, but it is what it's called.
They're talking like they're some introvert who's just had a nice, pleasant weekend with their own company. If
someone said Splendid Isolation and I hadn't done this history research, I'd picture like the monk who was in the cave for 40 years reaching enlightenment.
Yeah.
Not the largest empire in world history.
There's nothing isolated about it. You won't stop going other places. Yeah. Stay at home and stop fucking doing that.
They're not isolated. They're just not making friends. It's the guy who's like, I actually don't need friends. I just like spending time by myself. And it's like, but if someone offered you one, would you take it? And it's like, yes.
Yeah, you're not isolated. You're just a prick and no one wants to spend time with you. You're an insufferable person.
Yeah.
In this case, empire. Biggest going.
Yeah.
So it's not isolation.
No.
We can pack it in with that. Oh, well, what a lovely sight to see. It would seem that we're brought back round to the usual terms of the British Empire not doing good things.
No.
No progressive movement here. More underhanded dealings of recognising the control of other nations by nations more powerful, and it all blows up in their face in the end.
Yes.
So I guess there's a karmic aspect to it, but was it worth it?
No.
You know.
No, it wasn't.
Splendid. Splendid, but not isolation. You know what, Anthony? We can't have splendid isolation. Not in this war.
No.
The war we're having. In fact, I would hate if at the end of this we end up in splendid isolation. I would much prefer...
we each own a large portion of the world but have no friends.
That is kind of what we do. You know, our empire stretches throughout Australia, Chicago, and some portions of northeast England.
The sun never sets on the war of the mate empire.
And to keep it that way, to make sure the sun shines forever bright, we need to make sure at the end of this we stay friends. And in order to do so, I think it's important to implore we find some common ground. And now for something nicer. A little oasis in the war. It's time for some common ground. I'm trying the intro of the common ground. I'm recording it. Maybe. Common Ground is, of course, the segment in which we come together, we discuss a topic, and at the end of it, we become friends again at the end of these long, drawn-out pieces of conflict all across the campaign for North Africa. And it's my turn this week, and I will, first of all, lead that, Andy.
Oh, yes.
The Fruit Zone.
It is my fruit zone, and I'm going to bring you up with a pineapple or watermelon.
Ooh, two returning. Two heavyweights.
Two heavyweights.
Pineapple.
Watermelon. So juicy.
The Fruit Zone.
And that's that. Now, I needed to break that up a little bit because what I'm going to do here, this is a common ground that delves into something that I'm not particularly well versed in, nor are you, I would say, in most areas. Sport.
Nope.
My common ground is we need to make football, soccer matches much, much longer.
Longer?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, maybe not in the way you're thinking. There's a very specific way in which I want them to become longer. Now, my idea is that every time a football player collapses down to the ground and are severely injured to the point where they need a penalty, and then it's granted or not granted, and then they shoot straight back up.
Oh, so if they dive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see that as fraud.
Okay.
These people are paid how much? I mean, we mentioned it passively earlier because today there was an England match for the World Cup.
Yes.
And we were talking about the pay discrepancy between the English football players and the team that were playing.
Yeah, the Democratic Republic of Congo, I think the average player salary was 20k a week, which is still... And then Britain, England was between 200 and 300,000 a week.
Yeah, insane money.
Yeah.
That's all being paid, And I know that money is it's not like tax, we're not paying for it, but all of the money is, put into the industry by football fans.
Yes.
So it's fraud. If they're doing that, if they're, playing the game, I see this as fraud.
It's at least cheating, I guess.
They're manipulating the game in a way that makes their team win or lose more or less.
Okay. So
I think every time someone drops down to the ground, we'll pause the game and we'll carry out a medical assessment. We're going to have doctors on site.
Okay.
And the doctors are going to determine if there's an injury. If there's an injury, then the thing is going to be granted, or at least it will sway the thing. If the guy, runs onto the pitch and he punches another player, that's black and white. That's a penalty.
Okay.
But if the guy drops down to the ground because a tackle was a little bit too much and he's rolling around on the floor just up until the point where the penalty is called or decried, and then all of a sudden he's fine, you're lying. That is a lie. It's a flagrant lie, and we shouldn't stand for that. I'm not a football fan, but the fan shouldn't stand for that. So they're going to stop the game there. They're going to get a doctor, and there's going to be loads of them there, and they're going to be unbiased. They're going to do a quick medical assessment with all the tools they need. Fuck it, there's enough money in it. We'll have an X-ray machine on standby on the side, and we're going to have a quick look. And if it's found that they have been lying about this, then that football player personally pays that doctor's salary for the next 5 months.
Okay.
As well as that, they are disqualified from that match.
Okay. So you want to... I guess you want to penalise diving, and you've gone really deep end on it.
There's something about it, because I watched a match the other day, and I'm not a big football fan, but when the World Cup's on, I'll watch a match here or there. And I watched one the other day, and it was really boring. It was one of the England matches, and nothing happened through the whole thing. And I was just sat there watching the amount of times people went down, because they knew they were losing. They knew it wasn't going well. I mean, they didn't lose, but they didn't win either. It was so bland. So they were just diving all the time. They were pretending they were injured. And I was sat there thinking, these people train for God knows how many hours. They make so much money, and they are not above rolling around in the grass going,
I think it's actually like, I think they might get trained for it.
And that isn't okay.
No.
First of all, there's ego and pride.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Do you not feel silly at all in front of the world, jumping down to the ground going, oh, that hurts so much, and then getting back up? Because it didn't.
No.
And everyone can see it didn't. And all you're doing is riling everyone up watching the match going, oh, you should have got that. Look how it made him feel. Look what happened there. That was insane. It was an accident, first of all.
Yeah.
90% of the time it's an accident. The other 10%, it might be a bit of an overzealous tackle. But it's very rarely that you can determine they're actually going for it. The intent behind it is kick the ball, but their intent is trick everyone.
Yeah.
Why is lying an aspect of football? How did that come about, and when did that become acceptable?
I think over the last 20 years.
Yeah, I guess, there is actually a time scale on that.
Yeah.
American football matches. I watched an American football match years ago at my friend's house, and I was amazed at the amount of stoppages in there.
But it's part of the design of the game.
It is. It's all it'll stop, there'll be an advert, there'll be that sort of thing, and it breaks the flow up massively. I'll accept that. But it's still massively popular.
Yeah.
It's incredibly popular. It's, American football is huge, not just in America, not just in the US, but all over the world. This won't hamstring the game. It'll make it fair. But this isn't so much a common ground for me and you, Andy. I think this is really a common ground for the football, the soccer community.
Because when you said it was going to be longer, is that because you're stopping the game?
Yep.
I'm going to come at you with another pitch for this that will also do what you want, but I also think make football more interesting.
Okay, I'll hear it.
Every single match is first to 5. There's no time limit. It's just the first to 5. And if you dive, you do have to get cleared because the match might last 8 hours. You diving to get a penalty and then being off for 4 hours means your team's probably going to lose.
Yes. And more importantly, I think we also introduced with this, if you're sent off and disqualified for the match because you've taken a dive, you don't get someone substituted.
No.
That's just, you're a player down.
Yeah.
So you will absolutely burn through your team.
I want the test cricket version of football.
Yeah.
Like, you know how test cricket's 5 days, but then there's the, 1 day version, and an even shorter version that's like the 2020 version.
Yes.
Keep the 90-minute thing as one version. I want to see the endurance the game could last if they're evenly... Like, you know that tennis game a few years ago, or might have been a decade, where they just kept going because you have to win by 2?
Yes.
Do that in football.
Yes, I think we should have that. Yeah, maybe we have a score limit as well that you have to hit.
Yeah.
Because at that point, the game could go over fairly quick. And the players would want that, surely.
It
you still make the money.
The thing is, it could be a 10-minute game. It could be a 12-hour game.
Yeah, and if you're taking dives...
Yeah, that's going to cost you.
It's going to cost you dearly. And I think it should cost them financially, reputationally. And you know what? It should also impact the fans. I'm a big believer that you're supporting this culture. You can't tell. I'm kind of fed up with football. It's a few reasons.
For anyone listening back to this when it's not just come out, the World Cup is on right now.
Yeah, World Cup's going on right now. Today we had a match. And another thing, football, whenever it's on here, whenever I'm in town and I'm trying to go home, just the streets are full and the buses are delayed. The bus has to be rerouted because I have to go past areas where the bus would pass through, like areas where football fans are, and they'll chop and change bus routes, and it takes longer to get home. And it's just because they're walking through the street and chanting, and it's like, I get you love the game, but what are you supporting? You're supporting a crooked industry, a corrupt institution, and this isn't even going into the big stuff about FIFA. This is ground level. This is literally grassroots, because this is people diving on the field, pretending they're hurt. Are you fine with that? Are you fine watching a sport and watching your favourite player roll around and go, oh, and then he's back up?
Yeah.
Also, are you part of that?
Yeah. Also, just
Fuck you.
On the corruption thing, you know how they had the 30s Olympics for Nazi Germany?
Yeah.
The World Cup had one hosted. I think it was hosted in Italy, like while it was fascist Italy. And I think like Mussolini cheated a bunch.
Well, you know what? There you go. That ties it all back in centrally.
Yeah.
Do you really want to be a Mussolini? And people might think...
Anyone who dives is Mussolini.
And you might think that's a stark comparison. It might be, but it's the one I've drawn. This is my podcast. We got to do this. We got to say this stuff. And I'm going to say, you're Mussolini if you're taking that dive. And if you're supporting it, you're a Balbo. So maybe next time you're going to go take that dive, you think about what the financial consequences could be if we get in charge. And we've got a long time to do this podcast. What we do with that money, sky's the limit.
Also, if you're just a football player, cause everyone dives, surely if you were the guy who like gets hit, like pushes on, stays on his feet, and is like actually tough, you'd get tons of fans.
Yeah, I would. Surely you'd prefer to be that guy.
Yeah.
But you get tackled, you keep on going.
Yeah.
You don't falter. Maybe at the moment when they think you're going to drop to the ground, you go in for another tackle. You get them. And at this point, if they then take the dive, they're going to be the ones who are stopped, checked, kicked off. The culture changes. I think it becomes more positive. I think it becomes a less, maybe in some ways, a less angry sport. And that's all I want, Andy. I just want everyone to be peaceful. I want a bit of happiness in the world.
Well, we can agree on that.
There we go. Isn't that beautiful?
That's nice.
What a lovely way to end this.
Yeah.
Because I could feel my anger starting to build a bit there, so it's going to move away from that.
I can see it.
Yeah, yeah. Football, eh? What's it like? Well, it's got nothing on this beautiful game. I think that is a great place to leave it.
Yep.
If you want to get in touch for any means, whether it's game-related, whether it's another question or hobby to share, history segment suggestion, common ground comment, you can get us at info@warwithamate.co.uk. The Instagram is warwithamate. The website, warwithamate.co.uk, is still under pending maintenance and will be updated regularly for the full playthrough. Keep your eyes peeled, because there will be something coming for the start of the main game. Episode 100 will be a big thing, big event. And We will catch you next time. I've been James.
I've been Andy. Thanks for listening. Stay subtle, humble, and brave.
And don't you dare take a dive in those deserts of your mind. Good night.